Good morning. This is your wake up call.
It's time to wake up, Wisconsin.
Wake me up! All right, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Come on, hop, hop, hop.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Here's your host, Josh Albrecht.
That's a breaking ball. Take it to the bag. It's a shutout. Gary Sanchez to the finish line. And a record-setting night for the Brewers. A franchise record for runs, ties a major league record for largest margin of victory in a shutout in the modern era. And the Brewers beat the Mariners 22-0.
Man, sports are funny, huh? We went from having no highlight, none, no highlight we wanted to play on Monday's show to open the show, to too many highlights to include in the open the following day. Woo, that was fun, huh?
A little bit of an anticlimactic open for what happened last night.
Yeah, well, but that's what I'm saying, because there was too much. Literally, it was like, you ever hear that joke of, like, if you're thirsty, I think it was, I don't remember the comedian's name, but it's like, if you're thirsty and then you end up drowning, you're like, oh, I was thirsty, now this is too much. I was thirsty for a highlight, and then we were drowning in highlights the following day. Too many to fit in the open, so we gave you the recap there, or the final call, rather. You'll hear all of them in the upcoming segment. But good morning, Wisconsin. This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call, and boy, was that a fun one. That's a great game to be at. You know?
Yeah, I know a couple people there. Sparky was at the game.
I mean, it's long. You were there for a while.
If he stayed the whole time.
Right.
I had another one of my friends was there. Guy played baseball with us at the game that I know of. Yeah, that's a pretty good game to go to.
That voice you're hearing is Aaron Morris, who is alongside, of course, with myself, Josh Albrecht, here on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. The Brewers.
Hey, what happened?
Won 22-0 over the Seattle Mariners.
Huh?
That's right, 22-0.
Christian Yelich to nothing.
That's correct. The Major League Baseball Twitter account put out a tweet saying Packers 22, Seahawks 0, because it was the biggest this is a football score game ever. It was the largest shutout in the modern era of baseball. Now, some people were saying since 1888, but modern era was 1901. That's why most stats that you see say since 1901. But yeah, I mean, they absolutely crushed. If you're thinking to yourself, well, what did it sound like? Yeah, we'll let you listen to it. Here was 22-0.
100. There's a slider down, base hit. Bauer's going to be wound up. Here he comes. A Rosarena's throw, and Bauer's. Oh, the ball's out. Bauer's doesn't recognize it. He gets to the plate. He's safe. Oh my goodness. Churio into center field. That is down, a base hit. Hamilton will score, and the Brewers add to their lead. It's 2-0. Contreras, a shot to left. Going to be caught by Rosarena. In the score is Teray. Fly ball, right center, deep. Robles on the run. He looks up. There she goes. Christian Yelich, a 3-run home run. Hamilton drives one right center. That's got some carry. It is gone. David Hamilton. It's another three-pointer for the Brew Crew. There's a high drive. That one's not coming back. Bowers goes big fly. It's Hamilton on the barrel, base hit. Hamilton's got another RBI. It's his third hit of the game. 12-0 Brewers here in the seventh inning. The Mariners TV. There's a shot picked at third by Wilson. And he starts he dropped it at first. Goodness. They get the out at second. And another run's going to score. Josh Naylor just had that pop right out of his glove on a routine throw.
Langston.
Wow. Uh-oh. Is this number one? Law deep to left. And it is number one in the big leagues for Luis Lara. Another 3-run home run. And that's through for a base hit. An RBI for Vaughn. And now Ornelas down the left field line. That's down for a base hit. Another run is in. Brewers on the verge of some history here as Contreras with a bases loaded walk. As Yelich flies out for the second out. And there is run. Oh, number 20, but
he threw it up.
he threw it out. He did. He threw it into the bullpen. Couldn't figure out where the ball was.
Yeah, he thought it was 3 outs.
So that'll be an error. Allows another run to score. Sack fly for Yelich. That's a little flare. That's going to fall. And it's 22-0. Lara, an RBI single.
There you go. That's all that happened. Now do you understand why we couldn't play that as the open? The open. I was talking to Aaron. I was like, I don't think we can play 3 minutes of highlights before we say a word on the show.
We can do what we want. We can do.
It's crazy to me that through all of that, and I understand he only had 2 at-bats, but Bryce Trang didn't have a hit. He scored twice. But walked twice. But you would have thought if you scored 22 runs, everyone got a hit. Not true. Bryce Trang hitless in the game. He walked. He walked in his 2 at-bats. But just that's a fun one. Listen, they still only count as one win. But when we were talking about power and everything else that we've been looking for from this Brewers team, boy, does it feel good to get that type of win, especially after an off day, too. Now, I did, Aaron and I were talking about it before the show. The Mariners had position players on the mound starting in the 8th inning. 9 runs were scored in the 8th and 9th inning. Or in the 8th inning.
Just in the 8th inning, yeah.
Right, there was no 9th inning. So in that one inning, there were so really before the white flag was waved, it was 13-0. That's still an incredible game. Some people out there, and I know some people were talking about it on the post-game show as well last night, about a mercy rule. And there being a mercy rule, in place because 9 runs came across when the Mariners were already saying we give up, right? When you put a position player on the mound, you're saying we're just getting through it at this point. Okay, that's fine. You do that. I hate the idea of a mercy rule. These guys that are at the plate, they're still going to pump their stats. They absolutely want to still hit the ball out of the park. They want to get a base hit. They're still going to try.
Yeah, it counts the same for their average and their OPS and their
100%.
counting stat totals and guys trying to get qualified for totals. Like you have to have 3.1 plate appearances per game in order to qualify for statistical leaderboards. Well, if you don't give guys an extra at-bat or 2 at-bats in a game, they might not become statistically qualified, which is a big deal for them in terms of their contract negotiations and arbitration. It's a big deal to not have these at-bats if you took them away.
So anyone that said they should have just called it, there should be a mercy rule, absolutely not. First of all, I think that position players on the mound is one of the fun things about baseball. It makes baseball humbling again. It makes it to where everyone's joking, they're having fun, and there are highlights. I know there's one, I don't remember exactly who was pitching, but where Freddie Freeman struck out
Anthony Rizzo
to a position player. Anthony Rizzo. And they're laughing, they're having a good time. Like at that point in the game's over. Everyone knows it's over, but that's fun. It's okay once in a while when the game's that far along to have fun. This isn't Little League. This isn't kids games. You can have a little fun there. It's more fun. That's the entertainment part of it. No mercy rule. Get that conversation out of here. Not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not either. It's you can't stop a game in the MLB in professional sports with everything on the line, including a lot of money from people like the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So there's a lot that goes into that, which, by the way, Jackson Churio almost hit a home run in the first inning, and Julio Rodriguez robbed it. Put that in the parlay last night on the leadoff show.
Oh.
He would have hit it in the first inning. I was, yeah.
You
And
were
then
having
for
a
him
much
not to
better
hit
morning.
one, I know. It'd have been awesome. I could have been like, yeah, I just called the Jackson Churio home run.
Yeah.
Reason I did it, he's one homer away from being the 4th National League player ever to reach 60 homers, 50 stolen bases, and 200 RBIs before he turns 23. I was like, this is going to be the night.
And
then
instead
it almost was, and then Julio Rodriguez robbed
Right.
it.
And then
Yeah.
it ended up being everyone but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been more. They were swinging the bats really, really well last night, and
Yes.
the Mariners were helping them. I don't know what the Mariners were doing. I mean, they looked like they didn't care from the 5th inning on.
Well, I don't think they did. That's the thing. This is already a defeated team. The Mariners are a defeated team, and the Brewers took advantage of it, as they should. As they should.
Which I don't get. I mean, they're out of the playoff picture, but not by that much. I mean, they're 3 back now after last night. 3 isn't that much.
No, but there's a difference between a team being close and being bad. Like, the whole AL is bad.
Yeah.
It's
right now,
literally it, and we've had this happen in the NL Central before, where it just feels like it doesn't matter. No one wants to win. No one wants to take advantage of the opportunity. Everyone is struggling, and that's just the same thing that's happening there.
the Rangers are 62 and 64, and they've got a playoff spot. And
Right.
the Astros are 500, and they lead their division.
I actually saw on Twitter someone say that they should the final wild card spot in the AL should go to an NL team, just because of how bad the AL is.
Why
Which
not?
also, like my entire childhood, it was always the other way around. The AL was the dominant force. So it's kind of nice to see
we've
that
got
switch.
teams 3 and 4 games under 500. The Mariners are 8 games under 500, and they've got 31 plus percent chances to make the playoffs. I mean, that's insane.
It is. It is. It's insane just where MLB is at right now.
The Cardinals are 3 over 500 and have an 11% chance.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
brutal.
Sometimes it's just the numbers. You play the numbers. Think about how often we've talked about the AL Central in the past couple of years and how it was, this team won the division, but they were the worst team. All 3 wildcard teams had better records than the AL Central division champs. Sometimes that's the way that sports goes. Also, the way that sports goes is,
Hey,
what happened? Is that even though you win 22-0, you still don't make up ground on anyone in your division. The Cubs again beat the White Sox in walk-off fashion. Wasn't an extra inning walk-off, but they beat the White Sox again.
Fake rain delay win.
Yeah.
Although it rained, it was a fake rain delay win.
Yes, it did seem that way. But so they don't make up a game. They're still 4.5 behind the Brewers. And I mean, that did suck, but whatever. Brewers keep winning.
Are the Cubs walk-off merchants? We'll ask Chicago Charlie that when he comes in this morning.
Yeah, we'll have to ask.
13 walk-off wins for the Cubs this year.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder how many the Brewers have though. I feel
Can't
like
be that many.
No, but I feel like we've had a decent amount of highlights of walk-off wins.
I would say it's probably like 3 or 4 max.
No. All right, you look that up when we move on, because some things also happened in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hey, what happened?
And that included Josh Jacobs returning to practice from a little bit of a groin injury there. Some other things happening with Anthony Belton not looking so good. LVN looking good in his return. But the biggest thing that came out of Packers training camp was we got to hear from Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst. We have some audio we're going to play for you there, starting with Love and the starters playing just a little bit this week in Denver.
You're just going to have to watch to find out. So I think it's pretty fluid. A lot of it's just the circumstances. Who do we have available to go out there and play? Some of it's a little bit of a gut feel, but I've said it many times now. I do think there's a lot of value, whether you're getting ready to play one play or a complete football game, to getting your mind right to go into battle.
Also, Matt LaFleur went on to say no starters in week 3.
If I can find, there's so many clips
If
on
you
this
can.
computer. I gotta figure out where this is. Here it is.
Well, so the intention, I would say, going into week 3, depending upon how we do this week, would be that we'll get most of the work with our ones in practice, and then they would not play in the game.
Yeah, which I have no problem with. I always think like the end of preseason should be final opportunities for the guys on the bubble.
Yeah, preseason, if they're going to play, for me, it's one drive, no matter how many plays. It could be 3, 1, 15, one drive, out of there.
Yep, and that's it. The big story was Matt LaFleur's response. We talked about it yesterday to Keyshawn Nixon. And was that yesterday or Monday? I don't know. We talked about Keyshawn Nixon's saying that he felt he was being punished. That was his comments, saying he was punished. This was Matt LaFleur's response to that comment.
He loves making a headline, doesn't he? Yeah, you guys will take it different than me, because the way I look at it is this: then I guess our whole team is being punished because everybody's in competition. So I'm a big believer that competition will bring the best out of people. And I want everybody to play with a chip on their shoulder. If they feel like they have something to prove, you're probably going to get more out of them.
That was an interesting one to me, that comment.
Yeah, that's
for one
not great from the head coach.
Nope. And for a few reasons, right? First, I didn't love the fact that, well, it just, the way that it came across was not as tongue-in-cheek as I think he wanted it to be. But then on top of that, I also don't like the head coach saying, I want everyone to play with a chip on their shoulder because you'll get more out of them. Okay, but also if you're admitting that, then it's kind of taking that away, right? If you're admitting to the world, yeah, good. Then if it's kind of, you're admitting it's fake. We're trying to force the chips to be on the shoulder. Okay. Well, it's half of motivation is intent, right? So I don't know how much I loved that. And then he did also talk about the plan with Tucker Kraft as well, and what they're looking at with Tucker Kraft.
I would say this, that, I mean, you got to be able to adapt and adjust in this league. And certainly anytime a guy's coming off a significant injury, you got to think it's not a sprint. It is a marathon. The season's long, and we need him for the long haul because, I mean, you guys saw practice the other day. He was pretty impactful when he was out there. So it is what it is. We'll adjust to whatever the circumstances bring us, and we'll have a plan ready to go.
That was super confusing to me when he said that, because that's why all of us were scratching our head with him, in 11-on-11s. And like, essentially, Matt LaFleur just came out there and said exactly what all of us were thinking, but he's the one that can make those decisions. If it's not a sprint and it's a marathon, and you know how impactful he is, then why aren't we slow playing that a little bit more? No,
maybe they have been slow playing it, and this is part of the slow. Like he could have came back earlier, maybe. Potentially.
Maybe. I don't know. That was confusing to me. All right. Also, as we're running out of time here, and hey, what happened? Goody also spoke as well. Are there any one or two, Aaron, that you love the most there from Goody?
Yeah, let's go. He's talking about Jordan Morgan here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're very comfortable with him there. Again, he's going to have to go out and do it over a full season and year in and year out. But he's done a really nice job through the spring. Really nice job so far. I'm looking forward to getting some more reps here in the preseason and then get ready for the regular season. But yeah, we think he's got a super bright future to be a really good player in this league. I'm sure he'll go through his ups and downs like they all do at that position, because that's one of those positions where you're gonna have some of that. But yeah, I'm excited for him.
When you hear things like that from Goody, like, do you take that at his word? It's hard for me when,
not necessarily, because he says that about everyone,
and he says that about players that then he trades or get cut. And how many, how many times do we hear him when we say, who was it last year? Gary.
I do think that the way he did sound there, I do think they do very much believe in Jordan Morgan and do think he has looked good this summer and in that first preseason. I think they do believe in him at left tackle as the guy that they can keep there for many years.
Yeah, I agree with that. You got one more?
Yeah, what do you want to do? Wide receivers or defensive line depth?
Let's do D-line depth.
Okay, D-line depth. He's just talking about the depth they have, the options like in those options.
Okay.
You'd love for guys to be super versatile and be able to do everything, but you're going to need some of those guys that are, in the 320, 325 range to be able to, hunker down at the nose. At the same time, get in there and getting up the field and rushing the passer is important as well. So, again, if they can do them both, that's great, but that's not always the case. But you're going to, as the season goes, particularly, it's very hard to find those guys. We seem to have some pretty good depth there right now, including Jordan Riley, who will start the season on PUP. But it's at the end of the day, it's just kind of, figuring out, making sure you have enough versatility and balance in that room.
That's true. That's what you need. You need both of those for sure. All right, so there's some comments from Matt LaFleur and Goody. Again, both of them spoke. There was nothing that was like earth-shattering, which, of course, is kind of what you expected. All of the earth-shattering took place on the diamond in Milwaukee at American Family Field. We want to know, how'd you sleep last night? We already got some comments coming in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. In regards to the mercy rule and much, much more. We'll read your texts and let us know, how'd you sleep? How are you feeling after that huge win from the Milwaukee Brewers? Your texts and more when we come back on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. First of all, this rips. I love the song by Taylor Swift. Also, perfectly fitting, the Brewers put up 22 runs to the Mariners 0. Amazing. Absolutely the most fun being had yesterday. Just in case you didn't know, baseball coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Welcome back, everyone, to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht here. Aaron Morse alongside, of course. And we want to know, how'd you sleep? How'd you sleep out there? A lot of texts coming in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line, 414-677-1250. Let's start here. Jacob in a van said, yesterday's game was like a Stefan skit from SNL. This game had everything. 3 home runs, tornado warnings, players forgetting how many outs. It's very true. There was a lot going on. Did you know
4 home runs, Jacob? 4 home runs.
Did you know about the that there were tornado warnings?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
I was not aware of that until I heard the siren. I went, oh crap. Okay. I mean, it was quick, and
I knew they were kind of on the way. During the leadoff show, we had a weather warning that came on, so I knew about it. I went to the in between the leadoff show and the post game last night. I was trying to get to the store quick, grab something. When I was about to check out over the intercom. We're gonna need everyone to evacuate or head to the bathroom for a tornado warning. I was like,
cool.
Right as I'm about to check out. So
perfect.
Put the stuff back, left, didn't go back.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. It was
what a waste of my time.
It was quick, and I don't believe that I didn't see anything anyway of severe damage. Hopefully everyone's okay this morning from that, but I had no idea that was coming out. T in Lacrosse says, come on, Josh, you are not for the mercy rule and participation trophy ceremonies afterwards. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yes, no mercy rule. Unless he's referring to the Little League side of it and stuff for the kids.
What you want to end kids' fun early, Josh? Oh,
yes, I do. You bet I do. Because at that point, let's go home. Let's all go home.
Mercy rule in the league I play in. We used to actually not, but it's it used to be 15 after 7. Now it's 10 after 7. But we don't do it in the playoffs. No mercy rules.
The 608 says, Josh, you say all the AL is bad, but what if all the AL is good, and that's why they are all 500? No. Nope.
They're not all 500. They're all under 500.
And
that's
also,
not how that works.
It's not the system, the scheduling that it used to be, to where you played just majority of the games were not interleague. Now you play everyone. So it's not like they're all just good but playing each other. No, AL teams are playing NL teams too. If you don't believe me, watch the Brewers and Mariners.
There are 4 teams above 500 in the American League, so it can't be the case.
Correct.
That all these teams are just beating up on each other. The 4 teams are just beating up on everyone, and really it's just 3 teams, and they're all in the same division.
Right. That's about it. The Bob in Minneapolis says, to score 22 runs is impressive. About a mercy rule, what about the employees of the stadium? There could be employees who need the pay. Yeah, I mean, again, there's so many reasons in professional sports why you can't do a mercy rule. It's a paid product. Like fans went there. You can't cut it off. They have to continue to get a show, especially with, the way that they shorten the game already.
In this mercy rule talk, you know how often teams score 9 runs against a position player?
Right.
Not really that often.
No.
Gary Sanchez put up a 0 last night.
Correct.
Players put up 0s or give up 1 or 2 runs all the time. That's more normal than this is a complete outlier scoring 9 runs against the position player.
I do have to say, though, I've always found it hilarious because we joke, like if I went out there on the mound, right, and I pitched, that I might not be able to record a single out because the guys would just be hitting the ball out of the ballpark every time consistently. And yet that doesn't happen when a position player's on the mound.
Because they lob the ball, right? They're throwing 40 miles per hour.
Well, so would I be. What do you think? I can throw 70 miles per hour?
No, but you wouldn't be throwing it rainbow style. Like,
it depends
unless
on
you wanted to.
Depends on how many guys I've already walked. maybe. I'm just saying I always thought it was interesting that the best in the world that play this game can't consistently.
They're all used to gearing
the
up
ball
for
where they want.
100.
Yeah.
It's complete.
Yeah.
You're hitting softball. It's a completely different way of hitting at the plate. Different approach.
Our friend Annie texts in and says, guess what I did last night? I watched the Cubs and White Sox game. The White Sox were winning when I was watching. Darn it. Yeah, I know. It was the same thing again with the White Sox having the lead, just like they did the night before. Cubs come back after a rain delay. Although they tied it up before the rain delay, and then they won it after the rain delay. Brewers do not gain a game on the Cubs. The 262 in regards to the Packers say, why don't the starters play a quarter, then a half, then 3 quarters in the preseason? Used to do it. Why not now? Got to get season ready before week 1, not week 5. So the preseason debate has always been one that's been really interesting to me. Everyone has a differing opinion on it and what they think is right. And to me, it always it depends on what happens. Everyone, if they come out week 1 and they're rusty, everyone goes, see, this is why you got to play in the preseason. If someone gets hurt in week 2 of the preseason, everyone goes, see, this is why you don't play people in the preseason. So to me, it's just whatever side is loudest is usually based on what is happening during that time. I'm not really, sitting here and going
2 words.
Yeah.
Jordy Nelson.
Right. And that was the first one that came to mind to me, for me too. Right. That's always the case. The 608 says the Forrest Gregg years, every Packer player played with a chip on their shoulder. Where did that get them? Even Gregg had a chip on his shoulder. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that it has to be, it depends on where it's coming from. There are a lot of examples throughout sports history, especially in the state of Wisconsin, of players or teams that have that mentality of, no one expected us to be here. No one wanted us to be here. That motivates players for sure, but it needs to be organic. It can't be something that is like the intent was, well, who knows? Maybe we can put a chip on their shoulder. If the player's aware of that because the coach is admitting it, it doesn't work the same way. Then it just kind of makes you look like a jerk. It's not gonna be exactly the same. The 920 said Yelich 22. He's back. Let's pump the brakes. Everyone was back, right? Like in a game where the Brewers put up 22 runs, I'm not using that as an opportunity to say anyone got off the schneid and is back where they should be, or they fixed things, because obviously, what do we talk about? Going into the 8th inning, 9 of those 22 runs came when the game was already over. So I'm not going to say I'm not worried anymore about Yelich or what's going on there. 920 says Contreras got pissed at El Gary and made him throw hard to the last batter. That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. And it was, interesting to your point, Aaron, of just saying how, our position player takes the mound, a catcher of all things, and then you see him go and take care of business in the 9th when they couldn't in the 8th. The 414 says, my son plays middle school and travel baseball, and when a pitcher comes in and is not throwing fast, it messes up his timing. He cannot hit a slow pitcher. He can't sit back and wait. No offense to your son in middle school who plays travel baseball, which I understand. You're committing the money, the time, travel baseball. Get it? Not professional baseball player. If you are a professional baseball player and you know that there is a position player on the mound who cannot throw at 96 miles per hour, you should be able to adjust. You should be able to adjust your timing to hit the ball out of the ballpark, which is what Lara did.
It's different. You're making your swing go from a baseball swing to a slow pitch softball swing.
Sure.
And these guys don't play slow pitch softball. They probably never have played slow pitch softball. Tell you what, it is different. It is very much different you have to swing differently. And these guys, you have to have an uppercut swing because the ball is coming straight down at you. You can't swing level like they're used to. It is much, much different. It's why the players don't go up there and throw 75 to 85 miles per hour. That's why they go up and throw 40, because that is the most efficient way for them to get an out. If
Right.
it wasn't the most efficient way, if it wasn't the hardest way for hitters to swing, they would just throw 85.
Again, I understand, but if you know that that's coming and you're a professional baseball player, you should be able to hit that.
Yes, then they can hit it. I'm telling you, it's different. It's not that easy.
Okay. All right. I'll have to take
That's all I can say. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I feel like it should be. I slept great last night. I know that Aaron, how did you sleep? Aaron slept here at the station.
I slept good. I couldn't believe that it was already 5 hours of sleep when I woke up.
Crazy doing double duty. Usually Aaron not having to do a weekday post-game show, stepping up to the plate.
Sparky just had to go to Cub Scout night, Boy Scout night at the field.
Yeah,
he just had to.
Yeah, well, he did.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
but hey, it was a
good game to go to.
It was a good game to go to, and if you had to work a late night post game, it was a fun post game to do as well when the Brewers kicked that much butt. We're going to play the power portion of that butt kicking that took place with the Brewers and Mariners for the most electrifying sound, which we have coming up next here on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht. That's Aaron Morse. And we are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Fly ball, right center, deep. Robles on the run. He looks up. There she goes. Christian Yelich, a 3-run home run. Hamilton drives one right center. That's got some carry. It is gone. David Hamilton. It's another 3-pointer for the Brew Crew. There's a high drive. That one's not coming back. Bowers goes big fly. Uh-oh. Is this number one? Law deep to left. And it is number one in the big leagues for Luis Lara. Another 3-run home run.
And that was Yelich, Hamilton, Bowers, and Lara's home runs. All of the power, all of the home runs in last night's Brewers game, call courtesy of Brian Anderson and Brewers TV. And that is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Usually, the rule was whenever Bowers hits a home run, that's the most electrifying sound of the day. Well, when Lara gets his first home run, Yelich gets a home run. It's just there are too many things that would have been a highlight anyway. So I said, screw it. Aaron, let's play all of them. Awesome. Loved it. Love that it was not just also 22. Didn't we have a game earlier in the season where we scored like 14, 15 runs and it didn't have a home and there was no home run?
That
either?
Sounds right. Yeah.
So I understand 22 runs, but how many of those runs came against a position player that were a home run?
9. Oh, that are
just
a home run?
Just
3.
Lara?
Just Lara. 3 runs, yeah.
Yeah. So Lara's first home run was the only home run, too, that was a position player home run, which, by the way, going back to the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, a lot of people coming at me and continuing this conversation about the lob pitching and what makes it more difficult. The 9-2-0, though, said looked pretty easy in the bottom of the 8th last night for these guys. Right. The reason why I'm confused is because that's not the norm. The norm isn't for a team to put up an additional 5, 7, 9 runs.
Well, the other thing is you got to find a hole when you're hitting the ball as well.
Now that I understand, right? If you're hitting a lob pitch, but it's a line drive and it just happens to be right at a guy, sure. Or if you take a good cut, but you just miss it a little bit, and so it doesn't get all the way out.
Guys are usually looking to get the ball in the air against position players, too. The Brewers didn't really do that all much. Yelich's ball got in the air for a sac fly on the Julio Rodriguez, whatever that was. But mostly they were hitting ground balls or soft liners or liners through the holes on the infield, which, okay, yeah, those are going to be hits every single time. The ones that are in the air, it depends. Usually, unless you really get the ball like Lara did, it's not going to go over the fence because it's hit so slow or it's pitched so slow that you gotta hit it out of the park generally for a fly ball to get down against the position player.
The 414 says, Josh, I get it's not the same, but if it was that easy, everyone would be a professional baseball player. Not true. Not true, because a lot of people can't hit 104 mile per hour fastball. That is what makes it difficult. Not the fact that people can't hit a 37 mile per hour lob. It's that people can't hit 104 mile. I couldn't even see 104 miles
Yeah, I'd like
per hour.
to go against one of those newfangled pitching machines that can like replicate any pitcher's delivery and speed and spin. I'd like to just stand in the box and just watch a couple to see what that looks like.
At how insanely stupid that is. Yeah.
And then I would like to, after a few, I'd like them to dial up to 100 and then have me just try to time out when I would have to swing in order for me to hit the ball.
Oh, man. We look so goofy.
I would have to test run like swings. Like, how long can I wait before I have to swing to hit the ball?
Yeah.
Like, trying to figure out, because sitting there and watching it, I want to know the timing of it. Like, how quickly, because you can watch a ball go by and be like, wow, that's really fast. but I think it's different to have to decide to swing and then also switch. Like, I want to see that process.
Well, and that's why if you really want to, confuse a batter, like imagine if Miz goes 104, 104, 37, right? Like, there's no way. Like, that I get. That would be incredibly tough to change that up. But if you know that a guy on the mound is waving the white flag and just lobbing it in there, now it's not a guessing game. You know that it's going to be coming slow. That's my point.
But you have to hit it good or else it's an out because
Correct.
It's so slow.
Correct. Right. I get that. I get that difference too. All right. Second hour of the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call on a Would You Rather Wednesday. Our friend Charlie Houston will join
Should
the
we
show.
talk PCA again?
No.
He had another leadoff homer.
I know he did. I know. I don't want to talk PCA anymore. I had to talk about PCA because the Brewers didn't play, and then my hatred for him bubbled up. Today's a good day. Today's a reason to celebrate when the Brewers are 31.
Did you see his error yesterday?
games?
We could talk about that.
Oh, that's true. We could mention
Ball
that.
went right through his legs last night.
Yep. I always do like that when when he makes a mistake in the outfield. Yep, exactly.
There was a White Sox fan who tweeted like, "Is this worth 100 defensive runs saved?"
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot easier to celebrate those, ribs at him when they actually win the game too, which the White Sox did not. We're going to have Would You Rathers with Charlie. Also, we're going to get to this on the Growth Law stream, which you can be watching us on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter at WI Sports Radio. Injured Growth gets it. Wisconsin Sports Fanatic said, "What a great morning to be a Brewers fan. Top of the morning to you all. Let's see if we can get to 100 wins this season and beat the Dodgers in the playoffs." Let's talk about that for a second, because Aaron, you and I analyzed that a little bit and looked at the remaining games and what might just be possible. There are some things to talk about in regards to that. We will do that on the other side in the 7:00 hour of the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call, along with Would You Rathers on a Would You Rather Wednesday. Our friend Charlie Houston makes his way in. Stay tuned for all of that and more. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It's a breaking ball. Take it to the bag. It's a shutout. Gary Sanchez to the finish line. And a record-setting night for the Brewers. A franchise record for runs, ties a major league record for largest margin of victory in a shutout in the modern era. And the Brewers beat the Mariners 22-0.
They sure did. Literally too many highlights to play. We went from no highlights on Tuesday's show.
Are we playing them all again?
To
3 minutes of highlights?
Yeah, well, I mean, we could. I would usually say we would, but we have Charlie Houston in here with us, so we're going to talk to Charlie. I don't know, maybe we will. We'll see how the conversation goes with Charlie.
You want to play PCA's leadoff?
Good morning. No, see, all right, that's it.
Most electrifying sound of the day.
Yep. Now, after all that, he comes on. Charlie says that. Yep. Nope. That's
all right,
it.
bye, Charlie.
Now we'll play the highlights. Yep. Go ahead. Play some highlights. Play some of them. Play some.
Laura, an RBI single.
There you go. Laura RBI
single.
There's the
That's like the Jake
highlight.
Bowers. That's like the Jake Bowers slide yesterday.
Laura, an RBI single. Laura, an RBI single.
Stop it. There's 3 minutes.
Charlie, yesterday on the show, we got into a debate about if Jake Bowers' slide on Sunday against the Dodgers or Bryce Terang's slide in the walk-off last Sunday against the Twins was better.
And it was the Terang slide, obviously.
We were arguing, and I just pulled up the clip of Brian Anderson calling Jake Bowers' slide, and in the call, he says, "A great slide by Bowers." And I was like, okay.
Playing it over.
In one of the clips, someone said it's a great slide. The other clip, he just said he scores. So I just kept playing a great slide by Bowers. A great slide by Bowers.
Was that slide more clunky than the one from last night where he pulls an A-Rod and punches the ball out of Cal Rowley's?
No, he was that one last night. He was just trying to swim around the tag.
Yeah.
And it just happened when he was swimming around the tag.
Totally.
His hand just Cal Rowley should have tagged him in a better spot.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
Or he was super late to the bag
and totally pushed
and was
both hands
completely out.
into his glove and knocks the ball.
He
out.
was trying to swim. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, listen, he was out.
He was out by a mile.
Brian
I don't think
Anderson
he tried to
knew he
swim
was
in that
out.
moment.
Yeah,
Well, Cal Rowley should hold on to the ball.
That's true too.
You could hear it in the call from BA. Do you have that? I believe it's the beginning of the
100. There's a slider down, base hit. Bowers going to be wound up. Here he comes. A Rosarena's throw, and Bowers. Oh, the ball's out. Bowers doesn't recognize it. He gets to the plate. He's safe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, totally.
And Bowers.
That's what he meant today.
And Bowers.
No. And Bowers.
It's like his call in the later innings when they started just pouring it on. He was like, and that's a single and a run scores.
Right.
And that's a blooper and a run scores. It's like, okay, Brian, they've just scored 20 runs and a sac fly. Oh, the ball went into the bullpen. Another run scores. It's like, Brian, they're setting records here.
It's one thing after another. So the Brewers win their 78th win of the year over the Mariners, 22-0. Biggest shutout in modern era of baseball. Biggest shutout since 1888 is what I saw from, I don't know, some stat Twitter account. But it brought up the thought, and the Wisconsin, Wisconsin Sports Fanatic on YouTube watching us on the stream said it as well, of let's see if this team can get to 100 wins this season. So Brandon and I were talking about this, Charlie, during a break, and they got 36 games left, and they need 22 of them, 22 of 36 to get to 100 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely seems doable based on what this team has been able to do this year. My biggest thing with it is I don't think the Brewers were hoping that, or I think the Brewers were hoping they wouldn't need to get to 100 wins.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were more in the mindset of, we're going to take our foot off the gas here a little bit. We're going to coast. We're going to give our guys more time to rest and not have fatigue. But the Cubs are not allowing them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The Cubs could very easily have 95 wins this year and keep that pressure on the Brewers to where the Brewers might have to keep playing all season long through till literally the last week of September, maybe, if not till the end of the regular season period, just because of where this has been at, which is why I was really mad that they keep walking off the White Sox.
For context, before you answer about the record, they are currently on pace to exactly win 100 games.
Yes.
All right. I mean, you got 7 games against those Cubs coming up here in the next couple of weeks. That's going to be exciting. That's going to be a huge factor as to whether you win that 100 games or not. I think if you go out, potentially lose both those series, I don't think you touch 100. I think you do just coast the rest of the year, try to find a way just to make it into the playoffs healthy as possible so that you're ready for that. But I think also this Brewers team, yes, we talk about the Cubs catching up to them, but they've also continued to win games without putting their best lineups out there all the time or giving their pitchers an extra day of rest. Like they were 10-7 in that 17-game stretch, were able to stay afloat, and the Cubs, yes, gained a little bit of ground, but then the Brewers got that ground right back. Again, without their top lineups out there all the time. This is what this Brewers team has been able to do all year long, is just find ways to win and make it so that it's never easy for the Chicago Cubs, so that it's never easy for the LA Dodgers, so it's never easy for the Atlanta Braves. So you go out there and you keep pushing, keep grinding, despite maybe giving some different guys breaks, giving some different players out there that rest that they need. I think that's huge for this Milwaukee Brewers team moving forward, and why I'm not that worried about that. When the Cubs win 17 games this season on a walk-off, and they have so much luck behind what they do so far this season, even if PCA is having a monster year, there is so much to that luck factor for this Cubs team that I don't think the Brewers are relying on nearly as much.
I feel like the 7 games remaining, a 4-game set and a 3-game set between the Brewers and the Cubs, I have it going 4-3 or 3-4. I
think I'm going 5-2 Brewers. I think the Cubs are going to fold a little bit in this series, man.
Interesting. So you think that they won't get to 100 because they'll take care of the Cubs, make that gap wide enough that they'll coast and not need to keep the pedal on the metal. What is it? You and Rami both are
you think the Brewers are going 5-2?
Yeah, against the Cubs. Yeah.
See, I don't.
They'd have to win both series. They'd have to go 3-1 and 2-1. You think that's happening?
Well, or they could.
They're going 3-1 in
It's
Wrigley.
not because of the Brewers. It's because the Cubs have played so well over the past month or so that they're going to crash down back to earth, which is what they've done.
That's such a Cubs fatalist look.
That is.
I can't see the Brewers
Robbie's
winning
exactly
3 in
the
Wrigley.
same. I don't know what is with you two.
We're sad. We're Cubs fans. What do you mean we're Chicago fans? That's what's wrong with us.
I don't. Well, yeah, I know there's a lot wrong with you, but I don't. I
don't see anything other than a split at Wrigley as the best case for the Brewers.
I agree.
I think the Cubs could win 3 out of those 4 games at Wrigley.
I don't. Correct. I think if that happens, though, I think the Brewers win the series, the 3-game series later. I don't think that the Brewers go 2-5.
2-5 would be tough because that's a 3-game swing right there, and then game on for the final 3 weeks of the season. That would be a crazy stretch run if the Cubs took 5 of the 7. That would set up an epic final 3 weeks.
Did you see the ticket prices for the Cubs Brewers games in Chicago? It's like $20 a ticket. Like you can get in. Brewers fans fill the stadium.
Why is it so
low? I
low?
have no idea. That's why it was the ESPN starting price at $20 or at $18. That's when I looked yesterday. So maybe it's went up.
Maybe because it's 2/3 of the stadium, you can't see the field.
Probably, yeah. But hey, it's Wrigley Field. It's fun to be at still sometimes.
It's crazy. It's got to be one of the only stadiums where you'd rather be in the upper deck than the upper half of the lower deck.
The Buffalo Bills want to compete that with.
Yeah. That's very true. I'm trying to look up. Do we know what the record is so far?
The Brewers are up 4-2.
4-2. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
They swept in Wrigley. That was when the Cubs were playing awful baseball.
So
and then the Cubs
why can't
won.
They go 5-2 when the Cubs
because the Cubs aren't
going to.
Yeah, Cubs aren't playing that poor. They were playing awful the first time.
Again, they started out the season playing on a tear and being that great of a team, and they play Milwaukee and it kind of falls off a little bit. Why can't that happen again? And
I just don't. I think the Cubs are better than that. They're a better team than what they were. Much better team than what they were at the time.
I think pitching wise, maybe. I think again their bats are almost exactly the same. They're just finding the pitches now. And if you're going against a Brewers pitching rotation, a Brewers bullpen, which I think has started to kind of calm down a little bit over the past couple of weeks, that you're going to have a tougher time. Like I think it's just this Cubs team, as well and as talented as they are, I still think this Brewers team has a better game plan for the second half of the season based off of what they did last year. I think last year the Cubs a little bit, yes, wanted to win the division. We're going out there, but I think they had a little bit of a crown on their head, and this year they got that crown knocked off by the Brewers. This year the Brewers are wearing the crown a little bit. I think they're more prepared to be wearing that crown, whereas I don't think the Cubs are as prepared to be that second place team. I think they're still trying so hard to regain that crown so they don't have to go into the playoffs as that second place team again. I think that's a problem for this Cubs team moving forward when they're thinking about that over and over again. Whereas I think the Brewers are just doing what they do. The Brewers are just brewing, and I think that's going to come out in this couple of series.
Maybe I'm still at the point with this Brewers team where they're doing incredible things, but they're also doing the same things that they did last year.
They are.
They're finding ways to win in the regular season. That's why they're not as streaky, right? Last year we say it was fun because they had multiple George Webb Burger runs.
It was a roller coaster ride last season.
Right. This year it's just more consistent series winning, and then what have they been swept twice? I think all season long.
Yep.
So there's been less of
the Brewers
the up and
three
downs.
times.
The Brewers
with the
three
Padres
times.
was the third time.
Okay. So they've been swept 3 times this season, but for the most part, it's you win 2 or 3, you win 2 or 3, you win 2 or 3. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, you're doing the same thing. But when it hits the postseason, things are still going to change. I think a lot of this is still going to be who's healthy and who's hot when it comes to this Brewers team, which I think that they are. I still will stand by the fact that I think they're all aware of that. I think that that's been the plan for the last at least 4 months.
I will say, to Charlie's point, I do think PCA has done a very heavy lifting over the past couple of weeks.
Like Seiya Suzuki combined, both of them have been carrying.
PCA has been doing most of the offensive load bearing for this good stretch, and he does not fare well against the Brewers. PCA. The Brewers have a game plan against him, and it works really well. I saw this the other day. Jake McKibben, he writes for Brewer Fanatic. He broke this down. He said PCA is awesome, but the matchup for the Brewers is interesting because PCA against 95 plus 4-seamers at the top of the zone. He is now. I can't explain what this all entails, but I can tell you what it means. XWOBA, XWOBA, which is expected weighted on base average. It's just a analytical number, is 133. So basically his on base is 133 expected weighted for parks, things like that. Not very good. No barrels. He's never barreled up a 4-seamer at the top of the zone. I guess probably this year, I'm guessing that is, and a 44% whiff rate. So you take those numbers and you imagine Jacob Mizorowski pitching, Logan Henderson pitching, Kyle Harrison pitching, and how they use their fastballs. It's
Dustin
all
May
at
pitching.
the top. Dustin, they're all at the top of the zone. That's how they use their fastballs. All those guys use high fastballs. So that's why PCA generally struggles against the Brewers, because what the Brewers are really good at pitching-wise is what PCA struggles at. So if PCA isn't carrying the Cubs in those 2 series coming up, where can the Cubs offense otherwise? Can Nico Horner figure something out? Michael Busch is kind of this year. Seiya Suzuki, can those guys do enough to help carry PCA if he's not necessarily playing this well against the Brewers?
Yeah, hopefully not.
So I know, but I'm saying to Charlie's point, and to an extent Rami and the whatever the days we've talked to him, like the Cubs offense has been carried by PCA more than probably the general public thinks, because the Cubs are just winning a lot.
Sure.
But PCA is doing a lot of that. And the reason why he's the MVP favorite on sports books, including Potawatomi.
Oh, listen. So that's all great, and I don't actually care about the Cubs or PCA.
No, that doesn't. No, it doesn't have. That's not. It's not a Cubs comment. It's a.
Right.
It's a Brewers.
Yeah,
It's a Brewers comment about how they are relating to the Cubs in series coming up.
Oh. Okay. Well, so anyway, we still have time. The point of this was they got to get 22 wins to hit 100. They got to get 22 of the next 36. As much as I love the idea of them doing that, as much as I loved the idea of the Brewers last year setting that new record for wins in a season and getting to 97. I'd much rather have them win 94 and then make it to the World Series and still have that be the focus. I still feel like the only reason why you're looking at that 100-win total as a thing is if you need it to still be ahead of the Cubs. And if the Cubs somehow keep that pressure on. And to your point, Charlie, I do think that if that 4-game series coming up in, what is that, a week and a half?
Yep.
If that series goes the Brewers' way, I sure hope that they take their foot off the gas a little bit and rest guys and give some guys a break. Is anyone here on this show right now thinking that you're worried about the Brewers losing momentum if they slow down at the end of the season to give guys rest?
No, they haven't so far. Like, again, they've been doing this since the All-Star break. They've been giving guys rest. They've been taking guys out of the lineup for certain periods of time with these undisclosed injuries or minor injuries. And you get 3 days rest now because you have a bruised thumb or your neck's a little tight if you're Joey Ortiz, or pitchers, you're getting in that extra day. We're doing the 6-man rotation. We're going to make it work. And they've made it work throughout to stay afloat. Again, they've
also had to do it, Charlie, with the 17 games in 17 days, 16 games in 16 days,
positions, all that other stuff. Like, they've done it.
It's a very weird schedule that they've had too, with so many games in a row.
Well, starting Tuesday, they've got 16 and 16 again.
And their last month and a half here isn't exactly the easiest month and a half. Again, they're going up against the Cubs a couple times, like we talked about. The Braves, you have the post-deadline Mets, who have been really hot actually too, so that's not going to be an easy game. The Rangers are fighting for a playoff spot. The Reds and Pirates are probably your only easy matchup, and you got the Reds twice, which is nice. But Baltimore's playing for a playoff spot. Philadelphia's, the Cardinals have been playing well, even though they're not exactly fighting for that. Like, it's a tough schedule moving forward here. If you do go against the Cubs and you win a bunch of those games, you might as well rest everybody just to get through the end of the season instead of putting all your energy into a bunch of series that may not matter overall.
It's true. It's very true. What is also true is that it is a Would You Rather Wednesday here on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We want to know, what are your would you rathers? What would you rathers do you have for myself, Aaron Morris, or Charlie Houston here on a Would You Rather Wednesday? We have some of our own that we'll get to as well. Fire yours in now on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text line 414-677-1250. We will get to those and more when we come back. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is proudly outfitted by Burghardt Sporting Goods, our official apparel partner. Outfit your team or company with custom apparel today at BSG1881.com. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morse, Charlie Houston alongside on a Would You Rather Wednesday. We want to know what would you rather questions do you have for us? We have some for you. Boys, I'm going to go first here. Would you rather catch a home run ball but have to give the ball away? Like everyone's like looking at you, like give it to a kid, you know, or catch a foul ball, but everyone's just high-fiving you and you get to keep it.
Catch the foul ball because you caught it still. Like I feel like if somebody throws it to you like that, like it's a home run, gets thrown to you, like I'd rather just have the glory of the announcer going, "Oh, that's a great catch from that fan over there," and then you can hand it to the little kid like the Twins fan did the other day to the Phillies fan. Like that'd be more fun. Like I think that's cool. You get more of like a storyline with
Yeah, but you're keeping the foul ball.
Why do you have to keep it? I can give it away.
No, you can't. That's you keep
if
the foul
ball. If I keep it, I get to choose what I do with it. So I keep it for a second, I catch it and keep it.
No, I don't like those.
And then I'm going to be a legend in a different way by giving it to the little kid. I get my camera time ball.
No. I'll go home run ball.
Okay. Just to be able to say that you caught a home run?
Yeah. I've come close a couple of times, but I haven't done it. I've caught a few batting practice home run balls, but not
bare hand.
One bare hand, one with a glove.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think those only in major league games. Maybe one other one. Yeah, but
I don't think I've ever been to like a major league game early enough to get like batting practice. Like watch the catch the.
It's been a long time.
One of them was at Target Field. I caught an Hernan Perez batting practice ball. It came like I was about to leave. I was like, one more right to me.
Hernan Perez is one of my favorite random brewers to bring up all the time.
The other one I caught was last year at American Family Field. Ronnie Mauricio of the Mets, random young player.
Is he even still on the Mets?
I don't know. Maybe caught his batting practice homer.
Yeah. There's
I got it.
See, that's one that we go here, kid.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, no one cares about that. All right, Charlie, what do you got?
Would you rather hit your first career home run off of a position player?
No.
Or would you rather be the starting pitcher of a combined no-hitter?
Oh.
Because both of them have like where you get your name attached to something.
Starting pitcher. Yeah.
Even though the combined no hitters are not counted for most people, most baseball fans.
Hey, it's in the record book, baby.
Yes. And I am one of those people. I hate the idea. I hate when they call a combined no hitter a no hitter. It's not a no hitter.
Yes, it is a no hitter.
It is a no hitter.
How many hits did they have?
It's a combined no hitter.
How many hits did they have?
I understand they didn't get a hit, but it is a combined no-hitter.
It still is a no-hitter.
But it's a combined no-hitter. They should be in a separate category from no-hitters. If you did it alone, it's a no-hitter. If multiple people pitched and there wasn't a hit, it's a combined no-hitter.
This pizza's frozen. This pizza's made from scratch. They're still pizzas.
But one's a frozen pizza and one's a homemade pizza.
But they're both pizzas.
But they're pizzas.
Yeah, I understand.
And
they don't belong in different categories. They're pizzas.
Yeah, I might be more happy with other if I had that choice. But if I don't have a choice, I'm going to be happy with the frozen pizza.
A combined no-hitter is not no-hitter. It's a combined no-hitter.
I'm going to tag off of Charlie's a little bit here. Home run off a position player for your first homer.
Okay.
Or your first homer being an inside the park home run.
Oh, definitely inside the park.
I think so.
That's way more fun. Yeah, that's electric.
Not hitting it over the fence. That's your first home run is going to be
some dude throwing 40 miles an hour that I could hit that home run anytime I wanted to. Like that's boring. That's lame. Like again, if I'm Luis Lara,
hey, you hit a home run. You hit a home run, but only went 280 feet, and you scored because a guy dove after it and missed it, and it went to the wall. And
still got to be pretty damn fast.
Run.
Jake Bowers isn't going to stretch that out into a home run. That's probably just a triple for him. So if you're going to stretch that into a home run, I think that's pretty impressive. And again, like if I'm Luis Lara, I don't count this personally as my first career home run.
Oh,
yeah, it's in the books. It is. No, I'm waiting until I go against a real pitcher.
Yeah.
And
so are you saying that for your first home run, there's no worse way to get your first home run than off a position player?
No, there's worse ways. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm with Charlie on that.
What's worse?
The inside the park homer.
Inside the park homer.
I want my homer to be over the fence.
That's not a Little League homer, though. Like, it's an inside the park homer. Like, it's still
it feels cheap. It feels really lame. I hit a home run,
Kinda
but
like
it
a
wasn't.
combined no-hitter.
But it wasn't over the fence.
All right, so what's worse, combined no hitter or a inside the park home run?
Inside the park home run.
Combined no hitter for sure. All right, that's pretty good. All right, that's fun. Would you rather have dinner with Matt LaFleur or dinner with Brian Gutekunst?
Brian Gutekunst, right? Like Matt LaFleur. I don't know how Matt LaFleur is
Neither.
not doing a presser.
You got to choose one. It's would you rather.
Who's more boring?
I feel like Matt LaFleur is probably more boring based on what I've seen from him talking to the media. But again, I don't know. Like he went out to the bar with all the reporters last year. Like, is that different than what he's saying during his pressers? Because during his pressers, he's boring. I think he's like smug sometimes during his pressers. Brian Gutekunst, I like listening to. I like the way he breaks things down. Yes, he's a little boring, but he's not annoying. Like Matt LaFleur can be annoying sometimes.
It's a tough question for me. Like the reason why I asked this because I don't know who I'd choose either. If neither was the
They
answer,
both suck.
Wow.
To listen to?
Wow.
To listen to in press conferences, they both suck.
Aggressive.
Do you
They're
just miss
awful.
Jeff Hafley? Is that why you feel this way?
Yeah, like Matt LaFleur just goes, there's a mirror and I look in it. Let's get better at
Or he
that.
just says
We
he
have
doesn't
to
talk to his team at all.
Yeah, and
it's
then
just
Brian
like-
Gutekunst just says, "Yeah, we like the guys in the room. We're excited for them." And
But I'm
yeah,
not, but
it's-
this
it's
isn't at a
good.
press conference. You're at dinner.
Right.
You're talking about their lives. They're,
Yeah.
Hey, you watch Ozark? Like you're
I
asking
can't.
them, you're asking them just
Ozark.
questions. I don't know. I haven't even seen it. I don't know.
Matt
It's
Matt
possible.
LaFleur doesn't watch TV. I doubt it.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'd go
Sparky-esque to me.
Goody. I feel like I'd go Goody too.
I feel like he's just got he's probably got I was gonna say got more stories, but I think like Matt LaFleur might have more stories just as an assistant coach and everything too. Some of the stuff you have to do as an assistant coach or as a assistant in general, like something like that. Maybe, but Brian Gutekunst went through that with the Packers too. He was a grunt too. He might have some good stories from that.
If I sat down with either of them, I would not want to ask them a single question about football.
Not a single thing.
Nope.
I feel like you got to ask about football a little bit. Like these are two of the greatest minds in
Nope.
football. Like
I don't want
ever.
to do that. I want to know, is there a person in there? Is there a human being in there? Talk to me about Scarlett Johansson. What are your thoughts on ScarJo? Give me those.
Do you think Garrett Mitchell's hot?
Yes.
Does your girlfriend think Garrett Mitchell is hot?
Yes. That's probably a better one. Don't lead with, do you, Brian Gutekunst, think Garrett Mitchell is hot? Might be a very short dinner.
Or a
Brian-
long dinner. You never
Hey,
know. We
Brian.
don't know him that
Or a
well.
long
So
dinner.
Brian, nice to meet you. What kind of wine should we get? Secondarily, is Garrett Mitchell a good-looking dude?
What do you think about Garrett Mitchell? Huh? Oh my gosh. All
Is
right.
he a
you're
10
all
out of
guys?
10? Certified 10 out of 10?
What just happened? All right. Charlie, go ahead. Would you rather?
So I told you guys in the last break that I am officiating my sister's wedding this
Yes.
weekend. My other sister's getting married in October. She wants me to wear a kilt for that wedding. So would you rather officiate a wedding wearing a kilt or be in an August wedding outside in a full-on suit where you're going to be sweating, or would you rather have that maybe a December wedding? I'm not going October. That's still a little warm. A December wedding outside where you have to wear a kilt.
Any wedding where I'm not wearing a kilt is my answer.
Nope, you got to choose between a December wedding outside wearing a kilt or a August wedding outside wearing a full tweed suit. Let's go
Fine.
tweed.
Fine.
Don't ask how I know, but Charlie looks fantastic in a kilt.
Thank you. I can show you
How
the
do you
picture
know?
later, Josh.
I
have
listen.
multiple pictures.
No.
Aaron, I can send them to you and you put them on the StreamYard.
Yeah, we could.
I am not a kilt guy. So I will sweat in August in the suit.
Yeah, I feel like as big guys, we tend to sweat just all the time in general too. So you get used to that a little bit more. Maybe that is that
Yeah.
part of it. Or
Yeah, part of
like
it's
why don't you want to wear a
probably-
kilt? What's wrong with wearing a kilt? You just don't got the confidence for that, Josh.
I don't think as for as loud of shirts as I wear, and
That's
I
exactly
don't
the
think
reason you should wear. A
I
kilt.
don't think I can go kilt. I don't think I'm a kilt guy at heart, Charlie.
You
No,
wear
I
the
feel like
craziest
you would-
shirts. That's
I
what
feel
a
like
kilt
you would
is. It's
be-
like crazy
I
pants.
feel like you'd be a kilt guy.
No, I'm not.
I feel like you would rock a kilt at like the state fair or something. You just walk in with your kilt and you'd be walking around trying all the
No.
So my
the-
legs looked good in the kilt.
whatever they're called, the top foods.
See, I believe that you, the Sporkies, I believe that you would, Charlie, look good in a kilt.
Thank you.
I don't.
It's all about confidence, Josh.
Yep.
It's all about and you got confidence.
You got to feel it. I don't think I'd feel it. Are you Irish, Scottish?
I'm a little bit Irish. I think my grandma is. I'm a big conglomeration of things, mostly Italian and Polish.
So
but I got a little
what's
Irish
with
in
the
me.
kilt? What? Why? Where?
Because
how?
my friends and girlfriend bought me a few beers, and then they also said that they'd buy me a kilt if I wore it. And I said, yeah, I'll wear it if you buy it for me. I'm not buying it.
Wait a minute. Hold everything. Putting the show in park. Would you be the only person at this wedding wearing a kilt?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. No.
What?
What do you mean? Why? You're gonna be then it's.
I'm already officiating the wedding. I'm already gonna be part of the center of attention. I might as well.
Nika Teresa just said she wants you to wear a kilt, bro. Your sister hates you. Then you're literally kilt guy.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll wear more if people keep buying me kilts, man. Free clothes.
All right, next week Wednesday.
All right,
come in here wearing a kilt.
Okay, I already told everybody at the brewery that I work at that I'm gonna wear it for their anniversary party when we have that. So that happens every year.
See, that's your thing. That's your thing. Now at this point, that's your thing. You are kilt guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Charlie,
I'll make it a new thing. I'm just like I'm a thing guy. I like doing things. It's fun.
Aaron, what about you? Would you rather?
I'm going to take one from the talking text line. How about that?
Okay.
Nick Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. Would you rather have Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones removed from existence?
Both can go. I'm sorry. Like
I don't.
I'm not a big fantasy guy.
Yeah, I think I haven't watched both. I will never watch Lord of the Rings though, so I'll say Lord of the Rings.
Why will you never watch it?
Because it looks like one of the dumbest things ever.
So
I've seen the Lord of the Ring movies. I've never seen Game of Thrones.
You feel
I've
like
never seen Game of
like
Thrones
either.
Game
of Thrones. I think you might like.
Yeah,
I've watched like the first couple seasons and it was okay.
I'm not usually like medieval, like that type of that's just never been my thing.
I don't know, like Lord
I've
of the
always
Rings,
been like superheroes and sword lightsabers.
I've seen all the Lord of the Rings before. I was like 10 the last time I watched them. I'm a big movie guy, so like I kind of have to watch this. I watch all these things. I have a poster in our apartment. It's like the top 250 movies, and you scratch them off. We're on the Lord of the Rings right now, so I just watched the first one again. It was okay. Like I don't mind. Again, I just I don't get into when it's an entire world of fantasy. It takes me so much longer to get into that. I think that's why they have 3.5 hour long movies to start off a lot of the series, like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, stuff like that, because then they want you to get introduced to the world as fast as possible. I hate that. I'd rather be semi in the world already, have it set in a human kind of place, and then make it fantastical. I can get into that a lot more. When you have to be full blown, meet all the characters, meet the world, meet everything, I can't get into that.
Man, it's crazy how many people texted in about the no-hitter comment. We'll get to those in a little bit. All right. My last one before we take a break. Would you rather watch PCA make a defensive error or watch Wilson Contreras get hit in an AB?
PCA make a defensive error. Like that's funnier. I don't like watching people get hit. Like as much as sometimes people deserve it. I think Wilson Contreras deserves it sometimes. I also like secret. Wilson Contreras is one of my favorite players of all time. So you made this a really hard decision for me. But I think I'd rather see PCA make an error. Like that's just funny sometimes. Sometimes it just looks so bad that you have to laugh.
I have to go PCA because I literally follow multiple Twitter accounts that just post PCA defensive error highlights, and I smile every time. So
I don't follow them, but they will absolutely come up on my
they come there in your algorithm.
So
you have to hate somebody that bad that you're going to take time out of your day to make a whole Twitter account about all the bad things that person does. You got to be a D1 hater, dude. Like that is top tier, man.
That's why when Rami was saying like you just hate PCA because he's a Cub, I'm like, I don't know.
You're like a D3 hater. You're appreciating it, but you're not the guy making an account just to crap on his errors.
I think I enjoy a guy being bad at baseball a little bit more than just his uniform. I really enjoy watching him make mistakes in the
What's
outfield.
more enjoyable, watching somebody be like bad at baseball or watching somebody be bad at basketball? Because they have like the shacking and fool stuff, and that's always so funny every single time.
I think more than anything, I love my favorite, and you didn't put it in the would you rather, but is when professional golfers have a bad shot. When they like dump a chip or just like, all right, he's going to try to poke it through these trees here. Pow, 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 off the trees. I'm like, I do that. I do that.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my
Don't I look good?
gosh. What
I was
did
doing
we
it-
just you have to warn people before you put that up on the screen, Aaron Morse.
I was doing Irish jig. I was pretty good at it too. One of my friends was teaching me because she does Irish dance or did Irish dance. So she was teaching me how to do it. And I was doing pretty good. See, my legs look pretty good, guys. I'm wearing underwear. Don't worry.
If you're oh my god. Picture Charlie right now on the Growth Law video stream for the show right now in a kilt. Looking very fancy and free.
Do any of your other guest hosts take it this way?
Take it what way? No, it doesn't matter. The answer is no. The answer is absolutely no. They don't. What is happening?
Is it time now for your pre-show comment, Josh?
We've never about what? I don't remember. My brain is completely gone. I'm
not going to say it on air
Good.
because it's can't say it on air.
Okay, good. Yeah. Listen, we are going to take a break. We're going to try our hardest to reel the show in. We'll read more of your Would You Rathers. I have to try to get the image of Charlie that I just saw out of my brain. We're going to do all of that during the break. Come back, read some, get it off the screen. Read more of your texts and Would You Rathers on the other side on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Good Lord. It's the return of the fan favorite everyone's been asking for. The pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger is back at Wendy's. Fresh, never frozen beef, creamy beer cheese, applewood smoked bacon, and crispy onions, all on a pretzel bun. Add a side of delicious bacon pub fries to create a combo so good you'll feel like you're at an actual pub after just one bite. It's available for a limited time only, so don't delay. Go to Wendy's today. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht here, Aaron Morse, and Charlie Houston along for the ride. It's a Would You Rather Wednesday. We're going through some of the Would You Rathers that you guys have as well. You guys also commenting on all of our stuff. Brad in the 414 said, Charlie's a Wilson Contreras fan. I was going to judge, but I like Manny Machado. Jeez. Josh, would you rather wear a Cubs Contreras or Orioles Machado?
I have an Orioles Machado jersey.
That is kind of a sick jersey.
I mean, I would definitely rather go. Will you take him off the screen?
It took him way too long.
Good Lord. Apologize to our YouTube stream numbers are down.
Don't say
so
apologize.
Oh, they're actually
you should
up.
Say you're welcome.
They're up.
No, they're down.
They're
They're
way
crazy
up.
down
They're shooting
today.
up. It's all the ladies hopping.
Yeah. Yep.
They were like, "Whoa, is that Garrett Mitchell in a kilt?"
Yeah, that's exactly what they were not saying. Yeah, I guess I would rather go with the Orioles Machado jersey.
What if it was Cubs Contreras or Machado Dodgers?
That would make it more difficult, but I would still go
Dodgers.
Machado.
I can't wear a Cubs jersey.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I would start. I would start on fire immediately. Let's see. Bob Minneapolis says, would you rather endure being stuck in an elevator for 10 hours or be stuck on top of a roller coaster where you are rescued by the fire department? Jeez, Bob.
I'll go roller coaster.
I would absolutely go roller coaster. I mean, for the fire, I mean, you'd still probably be on the roller coaster for a while.
A few hours, yeah.
But and I understand like the risk because you're higher up.
Well, what floor is the
elevator on? Exactly. Plus,
yeah, but you're outside.
You're outside. I'd get more claustrophobic. Don't put me in a metal box for 10 hours. Not to mention, can you even do that? Like, is there? Well, there's a panel, right, to like get oxygen in there.
And you can probably be on your phone on the roller coaster in the elevator. Who knows? You might not have service in the elevator with where you're stuck in the, so.
Do you know Leroy Butler? When I was doing some work with him back in the day, and he's terrified of elevators. He would always take the stairs.
Huh.
He'd be like, you can take that. You can take the elevator. I'm taking the stairs. I'm like, it's 5 flights of stairs. He's like, yep, I'll see you up there. No, I think he's like legitimately has a fear of getting stuck in an elevator.
That's always like.
That's why he was such a good football player.
Stuff. Yeah,
he was just motivated to always work out by taking the stairs.
There you go.
Adam in Germantown says, I agree with Josh about being the only guy at the wedding in a kilt. I once wore a vest to a wedding, but had no suit coat, and I got asked multiple times if I was the DJ.
Well, okay, but I am the officiant. So if I'm wearing the kilt and people come up to me like, oh, are you a part in this wedding? Is that why you're wearing a kilt? I'll say yes. Like, it's easy. Like, it's not like I'm just a random guy at the wedding. Like, I'm going to be part of the show.
Jonah from River Falls said, okay, first, kilts are Scottish. And second,
I bought it at Irish Fest, man.
Later hosens over kilts all day.
Okay. Yeah. But like I was at Irish Fest, they were selling kilts. They weren't selling lederhosens. Like that's what my girlfriend and my friends said they'd buy me. I wore it. I'm gonna wear it. Keep wearing it.
Nick says, Charlie, how'd I do officiating? His sister, you kilt it.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, it's not. It's terrible. The whole thing's terrible. Absolutely hate it.
Someone on the post-game show yesterday told us a joke. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
What's the best water to put in a waterbed?
What's that?
Spring water.
I like the kilt one.
Thank God this isn't like dad joke hour.
Were you guys just bored on the post game?
No, the guy
too busy with 22 runs.
The guy called in. He's like, before in closing, I'd like to tell a joke since we're all in such a good mood.
All right, yeah.
And we're like,
since
okay.
we're all in such a good mood, let me ruin it with a terrible joke.
He's like, we're like, okay, sure, go for it, man.
Hey, thanks, man. We're gonna block you. Thanks for your one appearance here on the post game show. Saw that would have gone if I was a part of it.
I mean, at least we like got the joke. At least it wasn't just like a joke where you're like, I don't know what that means.
What that means?
Yeah. So you know what? Plus 1 point for that. You get like a D for your joke.
Ugh, I still don't know if that was even worth it. I don't know. Now people are saying, what about bagpipes?
Ooh, I could learn in 3 days. I think I could figure.
I doubt that. You think bagpipes are a 3-day?
There's a lot of people playing accordion.
All of a sudden,
Irish Fest, so I might have
Charlie's
to
going
learn
to
how play
take off the
accordion.
next 3 days. Oh, sorry, can't work anymore. I'm busy.
He's going to start. He's going to start
training.
getting. He's going to start getting more and more gigs to be at weddings.
Did you say jig?
No,
gig.
Jig.
Stop. Stop. I've never been more excited for the show to end. All right. So Charlie is not going to be with us for the Steve Czaban show with Josh Albrecht, which is just this week a continuation of what you have today because Zabe is out. But you're going to get your hair cut, and the wedding is on Saturday. And it is Wednesday. I want to, because we were talking about this during the break of what's the time? What's that time gap between when you get your hair cut and the actual event? I agree it shouldn't be same day. There needs to be, but I say I like a 24-hour buffer.
I'm also just looking a little
few days
ragged right now in general. Like my hair's getting a little long, my beard's getting a little long. I think just in general I needed to clean up, so I just wanted to kind of get it done too. Like I would say it's like 24 hours, 48 hours. You need enough time to be like, I like this, I don't like this.
Got to be a few days.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying I think that's too much.
72 hours.
That's fair.
I think that might be too much. It's going to start coming back.
Not in 3 days. Like I'll be fine. Like the beard might grow back a little bit, but that's okay.
Especially when you start learning the bagpipes. Watch it come back even faster.
Bald, clean-shaven Charlie incoming.
Oh my God. Lord help all of us. All right. Charlie, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Good luck in the kilt at the wedding. We appreciate it. All right. That's going to do it for the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. The Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht is coming up next. Stick with us here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Josh, Aaron, right here with you. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's time for your fan weather forecast brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. Should be a nice day in the good lands. Sunny this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 75 degrees. It's currently 65 degrees here in Milwaukee.
We're putting the band back together.
Forget it. No way.
We're on a mission from God.
I'm back, baby.
I want you to put the word out there that we back up. Understand me? We back up.
They say everyone deserves a second chance. Apparently, so do radio shows.
We are back, baby.
After years apart, countless bad sports takes from everyone else, and more than a few people saying, you know who should do a show together again?
We're back.
Somebody actually made it happen.
We are back. We are back.
Steve Czaban and Josh Albrecht, back together again.
What does that do? Did that blow your mind? That just happened.
A man who loves digital assets, hates replay, and always leaves early. Milwaukee's adopted hometown son, Steve Czaban.
Unbelievable we're seeing. What just happened?
It's the Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It is the Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht, but it looks exactly the same as the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morse alongside. No Steve Czaban this week. He'll be back next week. It's vacation time. Kids are back in school soon. Getting those family trips in while we can. The Brewers felt like getting all of the runs while they could. They beat the Mariners 22-0 yesterday. The highlight package is the biggest that a highlight package I think could possibly be. But it's so
it could have been longer.
good.
I took a lot of pauses out, and I took a lot of like the fluff and the calls.
But I'm saying there's so many highlights.
Yeah.
So many highlights.
Almost too many.
But listen, it's a great way to start your morning. It's a great way to start your Wednesday hump day. So let's play them. We'll play them for you. You got that ready?
Oh, I do.
All right. Here are the highlights from last night's 22-0 victory over the Seattle Mariners.
100. There's a slider down, base hit. Bauer's going to be wound up. Here he comes. A Rosarena's throw, and Bauer's. Oh, the ball's out. Bauer's doesn't recognize it. He gets to the plate. He's safe. Oh, my goodness. Churio into center field. That is down, a base hit. Hamilton will score, and the Brewers add to their lead. It's 2-0. Contreras, a shot to left. Going to be caught by Rosarena. In to score is Teray. Fly ball, right center, deep. Robles on the run. He looks up. There she goes. Christian Yelich, a 3-run home run. Hamilton drives one right center. That's got some carry. It is gone! David Hamilton. It's another three-pointer for the Brew Crew. There's a high drive. That one's not coming back. Bowers goes big fly. Hits Hamilton on the barrel, base hit. Hamilton's got another RBI. It's his third hit of the game. 12-0 Brewers here in the seventh inning. The Mariners TV. There's a shot picked at third by Wilson. And he starts he dropped it at first. Goodness. They get the out at second, and another run's going to score. Josh Naylor just had that pop right out of his glove on a routine throw. Likes it. Wow. Uh-oh. Is this number one? Lara deep to left. And it is number one in the big leagues for Luis Lara. Another 3-run home run. And that's through for a base hit. An RBI for Vaughn. And now Ornelas down the left field line. That's down for a base hit. Another run is in. Brewers on the verge of some history here as Contreras with a bases loaded walk. As Yelich flies out for the second out, and there is run. Oh, number 20, but he threw it up. He threw it out. He did. He threw it into the bullpen. Couldn't figure out where the ball was. Yeah, he thought it was 3 outs. So that'll be an error. Allows another run to score. Sack fly for Yelich. That's a little flare. That's going to fall. And it's 22-0. Lara, an RBI single.
I mean, that's all. That's all that happened.
That's it.
That was it. You know, it's almost crazy that through all of that, they also didn't give up a run. Even when they had Gary Sanchez pitch, still didn't give up a run. I mean, the fact that it was a shutout on top of it.
It was a weird outing. He was throwing curveballs because they were trying to keep the shutout. He's throwing curveballs at 56 miles per hour. Then he would throw fastballs at like 71, 72, but then also mix in 33 mile per hour pitches. Yeah. There was one point where Contreras asked him for a faster pitch. He's like, let's throw the ball. And then Contreras looks in the dugout and Gary starts to throw a pitch.
Yeah.
Contreras isn't looking. Contreras turns his head, the pitch is out of its way, and he catches it. Oh, strike. And Contreras kind of stopped and just looked at him. And Victor Robles was the hitter for the Mariners. And he was like, he dropped his bat. He's like, looking at him like, what are you doing?
What is happening?
Yeah. Like, what's going on here? Like, your catcher's not even ready. You're not even looking.
Well, because he's not a pitcher.
Yeah, I know, but he almost killed William Contreras.
Yeah. But he didn't. And everything's fine, and everything was great. And the Brewers win 22-0 over the Seattle Mariners. They play again today, right? Is a day game today?
Night game.
Night game tonight.
Tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow's the day game. And how many games do the Cubs have left with the White Sox?
This is it.
The final game. The Cubs,
they play a day game.
The Cubs again in walk-off fashion beat the White Sox. So the Brewers were not able to gain a game with that 22-0 victory over the Mariners. Come on, White Sox. Like, the White Sox aren't a bad team. I'm not asking for a bad team to beat a good team. I'm asking for a good team to not get swept by a good team. Give me a break here. But they'll play again. That's the day game, is the White Sox and the Cubs. And I'm definitely at the point where I'm scoreboard watching. I'm looking at every single matchup the Cubs play as well. Every time the Cubs win or the Cubs lose, it's another game closer to having this thing locked up. I understand it's still the middle of August. There's still a lot of baseball, but it's close enough to where I'm still concerned and worried about what the Cubs are doing. I don't want this to be a thing to where we're having to worry about what happens in those 7 games with the Brewers and the Cubs. And if the Cubs can get cold before their matchup with the Brewers, good. Even better.
Yeah, we got 11, 12 days before that happens. So there's time.
Yeah,
there's time.
It's going to be here before we know it, for sure. I don't know. That's the 4 game.
The 4 game in Wrigley, August 31st to September 3rd.
Yep. But overall, a great day. I know some people also went and not only went to the game and got that free hat. We talked about that yesterday. So it's free hat day. And then you also get to see the Brewers just clobber a team. And if you think, man, I've been going to a lot of games. I haven't been able to see a lot of fireworks. I haven't been able to see a lot of excitement from this offense. They gave you a good effort and a good game yesterday for sure. Also, the Packers had some things happening. Mostly, it was just they had some interviews, some pressers happening with Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst both talking yesterday. Hey, do we have a Goody talking about the plan for Tucker Kraft? Do we have that one?
Yeah, we do have that.
Look for that one.
We
quick.
do have that right now.
Okay, Go ahead, play that.
Yeah, Matt. No, him getting back in the team just really had no effect on anything. But it's good to see him out there. I mean, he's worked his tail off. Congratulations to him. I mean, these are little things that are big things. When you're coming off an injury, like he's coming off, and so I know he was really excited to get out there and join his teammates. As far as the contract goes, it doesn't have any really effect on that. And then no real updates there.
So that's kind of interesting, right? Because we're all waiting for the contract to be done. They said that they want to have that done, right? They've made that known. And yet here you are, you have Goody come out and he's saying the contract still looming, is not going to come into play, but there's no update. That sounds to me like don't look for this to be done before week 1.
I would say it's probably more him just Goody doesn't tell us anything. I would say it's more just him saying, yeah, there's nothing like new to break for you. Like there's nothing that I'm not gonna tell you that, hey, we're negotiating between these numbers.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, of course he's not going to come out and give numbers, but for him to say,
I wouldn't be surprised if it just happened today or tomorrow and Goody was just like, got him.
Okay. So if you had to put money right now on if Tucker Kraft gets an extension before the first snap of week 1, yes or no, you're saying?
I'll say this. The only reason I'd say yes is because everything I've heard, all the reporters, everything sources are saying that it's absolutely getting done. That's the only, otherwise I would, if it was a little like, wishy-washy, I'd say no, it's not going to get done because I think they're going to be far apart on a number.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think it'll get done. I just thought originally this wasn't going to bleed into the regular season. And now it's seeming like it might, which is also kind of a weird thing because isn't there like this whole thing where players say that they're not focusing on, the contracts and stuff once the season starts?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's definitely players who are like, yeah, I don't negotiate in season.
Right. But I mean, kind of difficult to have that not be the case, especially what he's asking. I'm just trying to, unless, again, like we talked about yesterday, unless the numbers are just really far off, I'm confused at why it wouldn't get done beforehand. If you're having the conversations, let's get it done. There were more things that Goody said, including the potential to keep 7 wide receivers on the roster going into the season.
I think it is. I mean, I think we've done that in the past, maybe once or twice. I'd have to go back and look. It may be a little tough to do that throughout the season, as injuries, mount and you have to account for different positions. But I think coming out of camp, we've done that a few times. But I think if you're going to do that, there's going to be a couple of those guys are going to have to be pretty valuable teams guys. And I think we have some of those.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're keeping them on as wide receivers, but that's not the way that the Packers are looking at them. The Packers aren't looking at them as wide receivers. They're looking at them as special teams.
But usually those special teamers are some sort of defensive player, right? I mean,
Sure.
Which adds a little bit more value, I think, than a 7th wide receiver. But the 7 wide receivers the Packers have, one of them could play cornerback. Another one is a fantastic returner, talking Bo Melton and Sky Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Melton's a great coverage guy on punts and kicks anyway. So, yeah, I think they just happen to be there. And if they're wide receivers or linebackers, it shouldn't matter. Your best special teamer should be on the team.
Goody also talked about, you mentioned cornerback. Goody also talked about the cornerback room.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're competing great. I think the groups, everybody's, when they're getting their opportunities, are performing well. I think there's been a lot of mix and matching. CV's been out for a little bit, and so they're moving guys around. But and that's what this time of year's for. Is kind of sometimes you're going to want to see a younger player go against better receivers to see how they do, and you're just moving guys around to kind of see how that works. So we're in that phase and just trying to get as much information on these guys as we can before we get to the regular season.
Get as much information on these guys as we can. I mean, that was a little bit different than what we heard from Matt LaFleur when, there a lot of the conversation and storyline which there hasn't been a ton of when it comes to the Green Bay Packers in training camp and leading up to training camp. But Keyshawn Nixon is always good for a quote and saying something that makes us go, oh, okay. And he came out earlier and said that he felt like maybe this was his punishment, and that's why he wasn't getting as much run as he had been and in past seasons. And Matt LaFleur had his comment on Nixon and the punishment comment.
Key, I love Key. He's been awesome since the day he's been here, and I don't read any of that stuff, so I mean, Waller's gave me a heads up on it, but I just, I'm not going to micromanage what everybody says, and if he feels a certain type of way, I mean, it is what it is. But I do think that it's a benefit to the team to have people that you feel are capable to go in there and play, and we'll all be better for that. So, like I said, whether it's that corner, it's the offensive line. I mean, really, every spot is you better come to compete each and every day if you want to be out there.
Was that a different clip?
From the one that we played
one that we played
in the
before,
6 o'clock hour, yeah. But it was basically the same idea. I just played that one because I think it's a little different perspective or a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But the one you were talking about, in which we played earlier, you were looking for this comment right away.
He loves making a headline, doesn't he?
That's what you were looking for.
Yeah, right, because he does, and he puts it out there. I do think that it's there's definitely more to read into than Matt LaFleur's going to say, right? And this is a normal thing with press conferences. Like there's not 100% honesty ever being given in a press conference. You're not going to hear things that would be happening in the locker room or on the field or in one-on-ones with the players, and Keyshawn Nixon coming out and saying it felt like punishment. Yeah. I mean, maybe a little bit, maybe it should be, I think that part of the problem for this team and with Keyshawn Nixon specifically has been there hasn't been a good enough backup to truly force Keyshawn Nixon to have to go and prove himself. And that's been a huge discredit for this team. So whether it be Cisse or someone else, if there's finally enough competition to make Keyshawn Nixon have to prove himself, that's good for everybody. In my mind, I'm 100% for it. And the comments coming from Nixon in that regard, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just him. You kind of expect that. It does remind me of the Jair stuff too, of just there are those type of guys that speak up even when you don't necessarily want them to speak up. Was there anything else you heard from Packers camp, Aaron Morris, that you liked or felt necessary for people to know?
Non-audio related, Josh Jacobs returned to practice, which was great news. Not great news, Anthony Belton has looked real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. Everything I'm seeing and hearing is that everybody is torching him in those battles in the pass rushing. Like everyone. And not just in bull rushes or swim moves or speed move. Everyone is beating him at everything. So not great for a guy you drafted recently to fill one of those 5 spots.
Yeah. I mean, that's not good. Hopefully that doesn't, transition into the regular season, but you're definitely thinking if they can't handle it in camp, I mean, that's a red flag that we'll know about very quickly in the season. Like if that's something that's being teased in camp and we see that in week 1 of him getting schooled left and right, yeah, that'll be a big problem that also won't last. Like they're not going to put.
I would be surprised if he's a starter at this point. Honestly, I don't think he will be on the starting offensive line.
You don't think he'll be there, period?
Nope, I do not. Jordan Morgan, Aaron Banks, Sean Ryan, probably Jager Burton and Zach Bacco-Boeli are going to be the starting 5.
Those
I would
would be
think.
your guys.
I think that's probably what the starting 5 is going to be.
Yeah,
Belton's played himself out of a starting role,
and so we talk about camp and what training camp is, and how it's an opportunity for some of these young guys. It's also an opportunity for them to lose it. If you're not playing good enough, if there's signs that anyone can see you're struggling, yeah, that's going to be a problem. And to this point, it's been a problem for Anthony Belton. Problems have been happening for the Chicago Bears, and them legitimately, it seems, becoming the Indiana Bears. The Hammond Indiana Bears have become more and more likely. There was a rumor going around that Indiana wanted them to also change the name of the franchise. That was a rumor that was discredited. They would still be the Chicago Bears. But there were now comments of ways potentially for them to stay in Illinois.
Yeah, everyone's favorite Mike Florio.
Oh, good, of course. All right, we got Mike Florio comments on that and a few more, plus your comments as well on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Get them in, 414-677-1250. This is the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, and we are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This just in, ESPN announced that they are adding Pat McAfee to Monday Night Football as an analyst on its pregame show, Monday Night Countdown. That, of course, had a bunch of groans from people who are just done with Pat McAfee being everywhere, which I say that's how it works. When they're paying the guy as much as they're paying him to have him everywhere, they're going to put him everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if this was just a little part of the upcoming Pat McAfee in your face on ESPN.
Yeah, in order to make
schedule.
all that money, you got to do something for that money. They're not just going to give it to you for doing 2 hours, 3 hours of a radio show.
No, they're going to have you doing as much as they can. The more guys they have to cut, well, we got Pat McAfee. Let's put him on this. Let's put him on that. So more Pat McAfee coming your way on ESPN, and it's on the pregame show. It's on Monday Night Countdown, which pregame shows I feel like in general have so many people on them, on the booths, on the sets nowadays anyway.
They do.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht. I am Josh Albrecht, and that is Aaron Morse. Steve Czaban back with us on Monday. A few things came out outside of Green Bay in the world of football. One of them was Mike Florio, everyone's favorite, who was on The Score in Chicago, talking about ways that the Bears might have alternate options to stay in Illinois.
And he could be saying to the Bears, look, we've looked at Hammond. You're not moving this team to Hammond. You're not. It's not happening. You can bluff all you want, but when push comes to shove, the other owners, and at least 23 other owners, would have to approve this move. They're not going to approve a relocation of one of the key historic franchises, which has only ever played its home games in Chicago or in Illinois, to cross the border to Indiana. So have your fun. Try to conjure leverage with this, but we're not going to let you do it. And that's something they're never going to declare publicly because it blows up the leverage to the extent that the leverage has any value to it. So I could see a combination of the league telling the Bears, you're not moving to Indiana. The Bears saying, yeah, we know we're not moving to Indiana, but this is our only way to get a deal done in Illinois. And then the commissioner saying, well, let me try to convince the people in Illinois that you're serious about moving to Indiana, even if we're not going to let you move to Indiana.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know how much I really buy that. Why would the other owners stop it?
Why would they want them in Indiana?
But
that's what I would say.
But that's why do they care?
Because of logistical issues. I mean, they're Hammond, Indiana. I mean, I guess you'd probably still stay around Chicago and in that area. You'd probably stay there and then have to bus all the way to Hammond, kind of like the Packers do when they have teams stay in Appleton and then bus to Green Bay. I'm sure teams don't necessarily enjoy that.
But haven't we already talked to enough people that have said that Hammond is closer to downtown Chicago and easier to get to than Arlington Heights would be?
Depends, I think, who you're asking, where you're coming from.
If they were staying in Illinois proper.
I would also say that part of the reason why we as Packers fans, as Illinois haters, Chicago haters in terms of the sports world especially, is that if they moved to Indiana, it'd be hilarious because all of their history is gone. They're no longer the Chicago Bears. It's Indiana, right? So all of that history then disappears and the league loses.
Does it?
Yeah. Absolutely. If they're not in Illinois anymore, yeah.
But you're still calling them the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, I understand, and obviously Steve Czaban here would talk time and time again about how he is not a Washington Commanders fan. He was a fan of the Washington Redskins that no longer exist, and the team name changed. Right? They still play in the same area, same stadium, but the team changed, and that in his mind killed it for him. Right? That's at least what he says. I don't buy that when they're successful. But so that to me, though, is more of a thing that could change rivalries and history than where the team plays. It's still going to be Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. Even the only thing that would change would be when they go to the broadcast and they say it's one of the most, coveted rivalries in all of sports. We're coming to you live from Hammond, Indiana for Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears. That's it. Beyond that, it's still Packers Bears. I don't think that this is going to change the history or the rivalry or the way that
no, but to the
approached.
NFL it might change things. And that's what I'm saying. The owners, it could affect their money if they move from Illinois to Indiana. It could. I mean, I don't have the numbers and I don't know how all of that works out, but if the owners lose money because they moved to Indiana, why would the owners want to approve that?
Yeah, I guess I don't see how that's truly affecting the other owners.
Well, because of whatever media deals and advertising and all of that stuff that gets put into these teams' pockets that these franchises run on by giving these guys money. They got to get the money from somewhere. I'm not saying it's a huge hit, but I don't know. Maybe it is going to be a decent chunk. Potentially. I don't know those numbers, but that could be a reason why the owners would say, yeah, you think you're moving to Indiana? Good luck.
I mean, I will say this. I won't believe that the Bears are actually moving to Indiana until it is official done, like a shovel in the ground.
If you were an owner, would you, and you had no Packers tie, you didn't care about the Bears necessarily. They were just a team, but would you be like, yeah, move to Indiana, we don't care? Would it be inconsequential for you?
Yes.
Really? I don't think it would be inconsequential.
I think for me, it would be way more on what can I do with the infrastructure and the facility and the overall appearance of a stadium to the league. I think that that's way bigger of a deal to me than where exactly the stadium is in location to the heart of that city. If you're telling me you can go to Hammond, Indiana and put up a better stadium with easier parking and, all these other things as an opposing owner, I'd much rather have that. It's not going to bother me what you call yourself. I don't care. I'm just looking at what image you're presenting for the rest of the league. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I really don't. All right. Back to baseball a little bit here before we get out this segment. So the Brewers will play their second of 3 games against the Seattle Mariners this evening, and then they have a day game tomorrow. We talked about it a little bit in the 7 o'clock hour of the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call about if the Brewers can get to 100 wins. I want to know how important that is to fans. Do fans care? Is that just obviously that shouldn't matter to anyone more than them winning a World Series, but they're also not specifically directly related. I don't know why, but I'm sitting here going, I don't know that the Brewers having a 100 game winning season is a big deal to me. It's definitely possible. We said it earlier. They're on pace right now to get 22 more wins out of the 36 games they have left. 22-14 is where they're at right now. That's the pace for them through the next 36 games. If that happens, they would finish with exactly 100 wins. I don't know that I care that they get to 100 wins. I don't know that's there. I will say, if we go back and we look at 2011 and 2018 and 2025, they made it to the NLCS all 3 of those years, and they had more than 96 wins. Or 90, what was it, 95, maybe? Now I'm questioning that. But as long as they hit that number that gets them back to the NLCS, that's what I care about. But am I alone in that? Aaron, do you care if they make it to 100? Is getting to that 100 win mark milestone important to you as a fan?
Not really. I mean, it would be very cool. It would be fun to have another franchise record in wins and get to that 100 mark for the first time in franchise history. That would be very cool. But if it doesn't have any impact on the right or on the postseason, then I don't really care. Which means that if they need 100 to get the 1 seed, yeah, then I care. But if they don't need 100 to get the 1 seed, it would be like a cherry on top.
Right. That's my big thing. So right now, the Cubs are at 74. It's everyone else is out. The Cardinals are 13.5 back. And if you're looking at anything for that wild card or that first round bye, the Braves also have 74 wins and the Dodgers have 76. So you're 2 games up on the Dodgers for first place, and then you're 4 games up on everyone else, essentially 4.5 on everyone else for that second bye, which to me that's important, right? Like I want that bye. I don't want this team to have to play a wild card game, so they can't completely take their foot off the gas here. But doesn't it worries me way more about when you see things like Bryce Terang and where he's at, and or you hear these things of guys day to day, but then does that become more health is the most important thing to me at this point. And so I'm still to the point of I don't care how long this team is winning as long as they put themselves in the best position. If the Braves, the Phillies, the Cubs, and the Dodgers all start losing, great. Then to me, then the Brewers could take their foot off the gas a little bit. It just so happens that these teams aren't losing, and so it's putting the Brewers in a position to where they have to keep going and going and going. But I just want us as fans to remember what we all said at the end of last season, that it seemed like the Dodgers figured something out about getting in, but then being healthy. And this Brewers team absolutely needs to be healthy. There are players that we've been seeing playing games recently that should not be featured when we're in October. That should not be a big part of this team. And they're playing in games as like last night. Like what's his face? Who was the second
Jonathan
baseman?
Ornelas.
Right.
Johnny Rockets.
Ornelas should not. I don't want to see him at the plate in October unless, I don't know, we're up 10-0. Like I do not see a reason to have him on the team. Those are the guys that were supposed to be here to give our other guys a break, right? And so that's my focus when it comes to the rest of the Brewers season. And do we want them to get to 100 wins? How important is it to get to 100 wins? It's only as important as what the competition does, plain and simple.
But it'd just be a nice cherry. It'd be very fun to do it.
Sure.
But don't push for it.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Don't not push for it, but don't push for it.
I would like to see this team be able to do what they planned on doing post-trade and
like don't lay off
coast.
the gas just because you're maybe have a 4-game lead with 5 to play or so with 7 to play or something like that. Like don't like just start resting everyone and give Miz 2 weeks off, like things like that. Like I want them still to play heading into the postseason because they will have 4 or 5 days off between their final game of the regular season, their first game of the postseason if they have the bye.
All I'm saying is I don't mind if there's this guy needs a couple of days off here and there, especially when we get into 16 games in 16 days. I would expect to see some of these guys in this stretch get some additional breaks down the road in September. And then that last week or a couple weeks of September, that's when they turn it on because then you got to get hot. A lot of things still up in the air with that. But for now, you got to keep winning. It's still a little too early to go to that point because the Cubs keep winning too, which is annoying. All right, more of that talk and your comments and thoughts as well on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. On the other side, 414-677-1250. This is the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That it is. Welcome back. Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht. Steve Zabin out today. He'll be back on Monday. You guys with us on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, though. 414-677-1250. Reading some text here. The 414 said, Seattle won 100-plus games in 2001, and all I remember is they didn't make it to the World Series. Ask them how they feel about a 100-win season. Right. I mean, it's still the regular season. It's just about seeding. When you get to a certain point, you still got work to do. Everyone goes back to zeros at that point. You got to take care of business. The 847 said there's already 11 NFL teams that don't play in the city they represent, and Midway Airport is less than 30 miles from downtown Hammond. See, that's what I'm saying. For them to consider this in the first place, there had to be logistics and things that they were looking at that made this move make sense. Like, they wouldn't just be moving there for a like moment. Like, it would.
Yeah. And who are the teams that are misrepresented? It would be the Jets and the Giants.
Yeah.
But New York. So who cares? Huge market. LA, the two LA teams. Who cares? They have LA attached. That's my point. Is LA in New York are the
okay, but New York, LA, and Chicago, like those are.
Chicago is not as
market.
big as New York and LA in terms of the money, I think.
Where do you think Chicago is?
No,
bottom half.
No. I'm not saying no. That's I mean in terms of a draw, like an audience draw. When they hear New York and Los Angeles, those are much bigger draw. Those are the biggest draws in all of sports. No other team touches them. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys, who I think are probably the other team that aren't represented, right? Aren't they in Arlington?
Yeah.
So they're not represented.
I don't know.
That's what I would say.
I'm just to the point with all of it that I'm thinking, like, first of all, I still don't think it's going to happen until it's officially official. I will stand on that. But that there's not a reason from an ownership standpoint to go against what Mike Florio said that we played earlier. I don't think that there's a huge reason for the ownership group to go against the Bears in wanting to make that move. Speaking of Chicago, did you see that during the rain delay between the White Sox and the White Sox and the Cubs, the baby Bears, last night, some fans were the Tarps Off crew that, has been making its way through all MLB stadiums, went right behind home plate, Tarps Off, and they were in the rain chanting Green Bay sucks. A lot of people seeing this. I don't understand why this is still a thing. Like, it was a thing originally, and then people were like, yeah, because we don't like the Packers. And then I think, wasn't there something at a Brewer game against the Cubs where then there were fans saying, like, go Pack go, or something else, like in response to that? I don't understand. I feel like it's a bad look all around. Like, it's not.
You don't understand, or you
like, I don't understand where
don't actually understand.
Like, I don't understand why they think it's cool.
I know why.
To do. Why?
Not much upstairs.
Oh, okay. All right. So you don't, what you're saying is you also don't understand. I got it.
No, I understand. They're all idiots. That's why.
Like, if you think that is, I mean, I guess it's, all I'm saying is you went from the night before beating the hell out of each other in the bleachers to now hugging each other over the fact that you both hate the Green Bay Packers. That's what happened in a 24-hour span. I don't understand. I guess, listen, if you find common ground enough to not punch each other in the face, and it happens to be over your hatred of the Green Bay Packers, so be it. But I don't know. I thought that was this continuation of the Green Bay sucks chants happening at Chicago sporting events that Wisconsin is not a part of in any way, shape, or form.
Not intelligent life form below the border, Josh. We know that. That's why they do this, because they think it's some gotcha, one up, hey, we're better type of chant, when it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's lame, and it screams, I need to be relevant.
Well, keep focusing on that. We will listen to the 920 here on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line in regards to the 100 wins for the Brewers, saying the important number is whatever gets the Brewers the division and the 1 seed. If that means 100, so be it. 100%. Now, there has also been a conversation about the difference between the 1 seed and the 2 seed. Obviously, last year we talked about the importance of the 1 seed because we wanted home field advantage all the way through the LCS. But, I mean, where'd that end up taking us anyway, right? Does it feel like baseball, the home field, how important is the home field advantage in baseball?
It's getting less and less. I remember the World Series a few years ago was Astros Nationals. All 7 games, the road team won.
Yeah, but don't we feel like that series in the divisional series against the Cubs was important? Didn't that
probably
go home team home the whole time?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still feel like there's something to it.
I mean, a little bit. I don't think it's as important as it's maybe made out to be all the time. Like in baseball, it has started evening out a little bit, I think.
I mean, obviously, the most important is that you get one of the top 2 seeds so that you're not playing in that wild card series. That's first and foremost the biggest thing. Skip the wild card series. We did that last year. That worked very well. Let's do that again and then see if what happens in regard to that. But after that, then it comes down to home field advantage. And I really want it to be a situation where if things go exactly as they did last year and we get Brewers Dodgers round 2, I feel like it's more than just the team. I feel like the fans are going to be ready for that too.
By the way, someone on the talking text line 262 said that only the New York teams, the Giants and Jets, play outside the state like Chicago would if they moved to Indiana. So all those teams that are not represented by city, only those 2 teams, and basically East Rutherford is a New York City suburb or a New York suburb.
Sure, I get it. Yeah, it would be a unique situation for sure. I'm just saying I don't think it would ruin the rivalry. Like, I think that the history and everything else that still happened would still be the case. That's all I'm saying. On top of that, I'm saying that's it for today's show. That's it for today's Steve Czaban Show with Josh Albrecht. Thanks to everyone who participated all morning long. We appreciate you. We've been live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll do it all again because, Aaron, we are not done yet.